So this is going to be more of a testimony of something that happened to me actually last week. So last Tuesday, I believe, Arthur Burke, and if you don't know who he is, I strongly recommend you find out and start listening to his stuff. He has cutting edge stuff from heaven on inner healing. Anyway, he asked for a group to be praying in Mass with him for people with various blockages in their heart, whether it's physical or emotional, or spiritual, etc. So I joined him in that last Tuesday and didn't feel anything. I mean, I was mainly praying for other people, but you also want stuff for yourself. I didn't really feel anything. And his report the next day was, okay, let's see how it goes for a month or so and do some reporting on what's happened in your heart. So actually, about a day or two later, I was listening to a testimony, and it was actually Kenneth Hagin's testimony that another preacher was recalling. And Kenneth Hagin, after he had been in the ministry quite some time, realized as he was praying in the Spirit one day that he remembered that his mother had had a lot of problems with mental illness, and some other family members too. And the Lord showed him that in his heart, there was a fear there that he was going to be mentally ill. And it was kind of like a puppy that had always been there. And he didn't recognize it as fear. He just realized that it was something that had always been there. Well, I was in my kitchen listening to this, and I just about dropped to my knees because I went, oh my gosh. My mom died of cancer when I was 14. My dad died 14 months later with cardiovascular problems, heart attack. And the Lord just, I mean, when God hits you in your heart, and that was so real to me. And the Lord spoke to me the next couple of days. He said, you've actively done everything in the natural to keep that from happening. And he said, and that's all well and good, because they had habits that precipitated those diseases in their life, and I've done everything in the natural that can be done to keep that from happening to me. But the Lord said, most of that has been done out of fear. And I went, oh God, forgive me, and fear of death. And then that was really cemented when my brother died about 9 years ago. So the Lord began to show me, number one, I had to say out loud, I am not afraid to die, because it says in Job, at death and destruction we shall laugh. And then to repent for being afraid of cancer and heart disease. Not that one doesn't do all the right things in the natural, but to repent for the fear, which would be an open door in them. So I bring this to you, and just ask you to ask the Lord to show you any hidden fears you might have. It doesn't have to be about death or disease or anything like that, but fears that have been there for quite some time since you were little, and see what the Lord might do in your heart as well.